Hello once again and happy holidays all my good friends. Okay, in the last one we showed you how to make this satin type Christmas ornament that had gold fleck design on it. And now you can learn how to make this much more glossy type surface on your Christmas ornaments, and you'll have a much more realistic looking top. You see that top in the little loop? It's much more realistic than that one. You really don't see any with a big ring circle like that. It's more like that. Okay, let's go. We're going to continue with the assets that we left off with in the first vector Christmas ornament tutorial we made, where we showed how to make this red satin type Christmas ornament with gold fleck on it. So if you don't have these assets in front of you, you might want to go check out video number 1 so you can get to this point right now, or at least to the point where we have, because I'm going to remove the design on that, and we're going to show you how to make this a very glossy bulb now, or a very glossy ornament that would have a lot more shine to it, and it's not really going to take much doctoring at all to get it to that point. And we're going to turn it blue, and we're going to put snow all over it, and we're going to have a little Christmas tree on it. Okay, first things first, let's make this blue. You can choose any hue of blue that you like. I'm going to choose that one right there, and on that opposite edge I'm going to give it a very dark shade of that blue. Now I'm going to send that to the back. Control Shift down arrow key. That sent it to the back. Now this thing, we just want to make it white, and this time we're not going to forget our light source. Just pretend this is your light source. Let's make it a solid white, like a light bulb, and that's the direction that the light would be coming from, something like that. And we'll leave it there. That way we can always keep in mind that that is the direction that our light's going to be hitting from. So let's change this inner bevel to that direction, and everything else is correct. On the ring, the inner bevel was in the wrong direction when we last left off in the video number 1 that we made for the Christmas ornament. And it was really no big deal, and I made a note about it in the video, and some people even beefed about it to me on YouTube. They put in like petty comments about it, even when I recognized it and I discussed it in the video. It's whack, man. It's weak. It's weak and whack, sir. That is whack, sirs. Whack and weak and gay. Now let's resize this one and make it a little bit smaller. We're going to make it white so it looks more like a silver. And this thing, we're going to make it a little wider. And instead of having the gold with the satin, we're going to have white with gray, and we're going to choose bars instead as our gradient. And then what we'll do is we'll add just a couple of points in here like this. This one we can turn white. And then we'll take this and just move it over right about there, something like that. And then we'll make sure this is in the center. So let's just move this out of the way, grab this, make sure it's in the center, and bring it up to where it sits right on top of your bulb, right there. And then make sure your little hook or your little circle right there is in a good spot. Put your bright light back right there. Now zoom back out using Control and mouse wheel. And now you can see that you have a much different style of the top component that hooks to some kind of chain or a hook or whatever. Now we want to grab all of our little yellow dots that we had before. Make sure we only have those dots selected, so when we move them down right now, our shine doesn't move with them. Just move them down, put them into place, and turn them white. So let's select all of those. And then we can deselect that star and that star, and then we'll have all of those little guys selected, turn them white, so it looks like a silver chain now. Okay, so now you have a silver chain, blue bulb, but yet the bulb is still satin. It's not glossy and doesn't have like almost reflective qualities to it, and that's what we're going to do now. Alright, so first grab your pen tool, and on this side over here somewhere, right about there, just click down, let go, and then come to maybe right about here and click down and hold this time and drag. Then you make a curve that kind of contours with the outside of your circle here, you see? And then let go once you have that curve that you like. That kind of contours with this, but not the exact same contour. You want it to be a smaller contour. Then click down here on this dot or that point to make a sharp corner point, and then click down here and hold and drag in, and you make like a little sideways smiley face type looking shape. And then go to solid, make it white. Then I'm going to go to filters, and I'm going to give it a blur of Gaussian blur. That looks good to me. And then I'm going to fade it down just a little bit. Right there looks good. And I can take that exact shape. Control C, Control V, make a copy, flip it horizontally, drag it over to this side, somewhat on the top a little bit, and then hit the scale tool to where we have the rotation selector handy, and just rotate it to where it would meet up with that contour of the circle, but on the other edge. Bring it in just a little, bring this one out just a little. And we're going to fade this one down a little more so it's not so as dominant as this gloss effect. Now we're going to take a ellipse, draw it out right there in the very center of that shiny part, and then we're going to rotate it just a little bit, like that, and then we're going to go and give that a blur of Gaussian blur as well. Okay, and there you go. Now you have more of a glossy look, a much more glossy look to your ornament. Now you can put your design on it. Okay, for this design we're going to grab the pencil. I'm just going to make sure it's white. So I'm just going to go through here and click in dots everywhere. Make it look like there's snow all over. Okay, so once you have all your dots on there, you'll notice that you can then take the opacity down on it if you like. And you can also do things like give it a auto vector mask. Where is that? Creative, auto vector mask. And what that does is that'll allow you to give it a gradient, like a linear gradient. And if I apply that, you'll see what happens. So all I have to do is really move this, and what that'll do is fade them out as they go away from the light. You see what that does? So as the light is hitting it, you could do something like that, so where only the ones in the light would be really shining. So we'll do something like that, and that'll help us keep a realism to our lighting effects. Okay, what shall we put on there? Let's do something nice. Let's grab the pen tool and we'll do a Christmas tree. How about that? That's very pretty and nice. We'll start right in the center, right about here somewhere, and just eyeball the center. Click down and let go, and then come right down to about here. Click down, hold, and give it a curve, and click down on that point to make a sharp corner point. Then you're going to come in just a little bit. Let me zoom in a little by holding control and mouse wheeling. You're going to come in just a little bit, click down right here, and give this a downward curve like that. Then click down right there, make a sharp corner point, come down to about here, do the same thing, hold down, click and hold down and curve, and let go, and then click this point to make a sharp corner point. Then do the same thing with another layer down here. Click down, hold, and make a small curve in there. Now, click down on this point to make a sharp corner point, and add another layer, same thing. As you go down, just layer it. Click down here, let go, and then make the last little layer on the bottom, and then you can keep going down, maybe right about there. Now on this bottom part, you want to click right here and let go, and then you want to get to about the center, right about there. Looks like the center to me. I'm going to click, hold down, and curve it to match the contour of my little circle, my ornament, the main sphere, the main ellipse for my ornament. Match that contour, click down, let go, and then click up here at that top point, and everything will connect. Then go to the sub-selection tool, hit this point on the bottom or the one on the top, and just make sure it's even. Make sure you have an even line. So you go to 100% and you'll be able to see if it's uneven, because the line will kind of discombobulate. Alright, now let's just give that a white fill. Take the edge off of it if you have a white edge. Press Control C, Control V, flip it horizontal, the copy that you just put on, and if it's coming off the bottom, you can easily just move it up right there. That's perfect. Now let's select this and this, go to Modify, Combine Paths, and union those to make it one piece. But don't move it, leave it right where it was. Now we're going to highlight it, make sure we're on the regular pointer selection tool and not the sub selection tool right here, and go down to grain, make sure it's on grain, and I'm just going to go 100% on the grain and make it transparent. Now I'm going to put a little bit more snow on the bottom. Remember how we put in those little snow dots? I'm going to do the same thing, but this time I'm going to have a little bit more snow on my bottom around the tree. Yeah, that looks a lot better with more snow down there by the tree. So what I'll do is I'm going to grab the tree, just that tree symbol. Actually, if you want to go into your layers, you can get at things more easily. You can grab the at the top I've got the bitmap, which is little pencil markings, the little snow, and then the path. Right there is the tree. So let's select the bitmap and then go on the screen into the stage or the canvas and hold shift and select the tree as well. So now I have the tree and the snow selected. So I'm going to group those. Control G. Now it's one item. See, if I moved it, you see what it looks like? But don't move it. Leave it right where it was. I press Control Z, I put it back. Now, I'm going to go up to Commands, Creative, give it Auto Vector Mask. Just a slight linear Auto Vector Mask. Apply that. And I'm going to make sure that it goes around the other direction. And you can see what this does is it'll help you make some more realism to your light source with the objects that are on the globe or on the ornament. So you can see as I bring it down, they start to appear, and you can make it fade a little bit as it goes to that side. It'll add just a little bit more realism to your bulb or your design. And you know what? You can highlight it and press Control C, Control V to make it brighter if that's not bright enough for you, and it'll still hold its gradiated alpha qualities. Okay, so that's how you can set up a more glossy type ornament that has a different kind of top, a more realistic sort of top.